Good evening, everybody. It is meteorologist into weather forecasting, and welcome back to another video, guys. I know it's a bit late, but I had to do a second upload on PTC too, guys. It is getting quite a big deal now with PTC too, and we have a lot of new updates. We have so much new updates that we even had to take a look at the National Weather Service. That's how many new updates now. And guys, we're gonna have a look at the time in the cone now. Now we're gonna be looking at the spaghetti models. Now we're gonna be looking at everything, guys. We're even gonna be looking at the radar. So if you guys want to know if you guys can get impacted, if you guys want to know if you can get to a category 2 possibly, or category 1, or if even Barry can get to a hurricane. If you guys want to know all those updates, just stay tuned to the video, and then you guys should have all the information you need, and stay prepared. See you guys. Alright, guys, so as you can tell, we are going to be looking at the National Weather Service because we do have a lot of updates. We do have a hurricane watch out for the very southern counties into Louisiana, and it's going to also be out into the Gulf of Mexico. We do have it out for these southwestern counties of Louisiana. So that's where we have a hurricane watch. That's where they actually have the biggest chance so far for having a hurricane threat. And then we also have the storm surge, which is in a lighter purple for more of the counties for eastern, and for the eastern Louisiana, those little small islands. That's where the storm surge watch. That's where we can really have that storm surge threat, possibly up to maybe 1 to 3 feet to 3 to 6 feet, so it can really pick up some cars there. I would say more to 1 to 3 feet because we're gonna have a lot of rain, but not gonna be over 3 feet, guys. And we're gonna have huge waves come in with this heavy winds and heavy rain. Just gonna cause a lot of chaos here for Louisiana areas, and also for parts of Mississippi. Off that coast, you can possibly have maybe less than a foot surge, but that still can make some problems there. But we can have a lot of flooding threats. So if you guys, it's really gonna get quite messy out here. So if you guys really want to prepare now, just go ahead and start watching this video, start watching the news for you guys to have the latest updates. And then we do have a tropical storm watch for some counties out in the smaller islands out there in the most eastern part of Louisiana. That's where we do have tropical storm watches there, and we do have it right off the coast of Mississippi and Alabama, next to the Mobile area. And then the dark green, we do have flood watches. I will not be surprised if we have flash flood warnings, but we do have flash flood watches right now, so we can really have a lot of rain in these areas. And then we do have special weather statements out here for these areas in Mississippi and the Jackson area, to prepare people to at least feel some of the winds there. And we're going to have a lot of rain, guys, in this one area of Louisiana. And it's going to be looking like it's going to take a turn and going a lot in inland areas and bring up to 5 inches for some areas. Alright, guys, now we're going to be looking at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. So here is where we have, sorry guys, alright, so this is where we have PTC2, guys, a potential tropical cyclone 2 there. It is still at 30 miles per hour right now. It really hasn't gotten a lot more powerful yet, but we do predict to get a lot more powerful and a lot more chance of it happening. So now the next 48 hours, we still have a high percent chance at 100%. So if you guys are in these areas, you guys don't have a super duper long time to get out of these areas. I know 2 days sounds like, oh, we have 2 days, but trust me, guys, it's really moving quite fast. And then the next 5 days, it is a high percent chance for 100%. So if it did not happen in the next 48 hours, then you still have that 3 and 4 days to 5 days with a 100% chance. So it's quite a big time with 100%. So again, that's what it is right now. It's in the northern Gulf of Mexico, getting very close to Louisiana. Now I'll be looking at the satellite imagery, guys. It looks, PTC2, guys, looks so much more organized, guys. It is so much more organized. We have we have these outer bands. You can really see these outer bands right here. And then we have it stretching all the way 100 miles. We're actually going to have clouds for these eastern islands here, for the eastern islands, or southeastern part of Louisiana, guys. We can already have some drizzle, some light rain already. So that's why we do have a big threat there. That's where we actually could have these tropical storm watches out here for these areas. It's because they're already getting these. They're gonna already get some wind right now. They're gonna get some drizzle. You're gonna see these clouds basically in these areas. You're gonna see these clouds from. That's how widespread it is. And then we do have the center right here. We are kind of getting the vorticity. We're starting to have the rotation, because we do see these bands moving in these areas. And then we do have it coming in here. So we do have a lot of vorticity here. It's not very organized right now. Again, it's still It's still not even a tropical storm, guys. But again, it's going to be very dangerous to potentially become Tropical Storm Barry very soon enough. And then even by maybe 2 to 3 days, it could be Hurricane Barry. Now we're going to be looking at the cone and timing, guys. This is a new thing we're going to be looking at. So you see in the yellow, that's where we do have, again, those tropical storm watches there. And then on these islands right here we're just talking about, they have hurricane watches, and that's because they're already getting some rain there, and that's where they had the biggest threat, the southern part of Louisiana, all the way coast to coast of the state. And then, as you can tell, it is right here. The X is right now. It will get to depression, or it's going to be a depression later tomorrow, and then by even in the afternoon tomorrow, it does get to Tropical Storm Barry, and I did predict it would become a Barry by tomorrow. I did predict that, and then by Friday, it is still a Tropical Storm Barry, probably a major tropical storm. Right before landfall, guys, it could get to a Category 1, guys. Category 1 Hurricane Barry, guys. I actually believe it can get to a Category 2, a very weak Category 2. That's what I believe, guys. And then it could get to a storm very quickly to Sunday as it goes in these other areas inland as it does weekend. And guys, this cone here is the next 1 to 3 days, so it's looking like all the way the next 3 days it can already be in central Louisiana, and that's how fast. So it's looking like it's going to be in the 2-day side. And then by the next 4 to 5 days, we do have a concern of areas, a widespread area possibility of it going, because these spaghetti models are not really yet starting to be together. They're not like really organized yet, so that's why we had this widespread area for the next 4 to 5 days, so it can be all the way to Oklahoma to all the way to Memphis. And then we do have it getting back to depression 1 p.m. by Sunday, and then it could possibly go like this and affect the Ohio Valley. So again, that's what it's looking like here. Now I'll be looking at the again, the model track guidance. This is where we're going to see all the spaghetti models not really be in agreement. One model shows it going to central Alabama and then Georgia. Not going to happen, but all the models do agree that it is still going to go a bit more south. It's still going to go to the southwest a little bit, and then by the next 48 hours, it should be turning towards the direction of Louisiana. So we do have the cone area basically for the majority of the models do show this type of area. This is the cone area based on all the models. Some models, the UK model does show it hitting the Houston area. I do not believe that. And then TABDS just show it hitting TABS, just showing going close to the Dallas area. I do not believe that. I believe now the models are not all showing going more into the Baton Rouge area, so the capital, not more of all the models are not showing going to western Louisiana or Oklahoma or Arkansas or western Arkansas. Now the majority of the models are showing it taking a turn to the northeast, like the majority do turn to the northeast, affecting parts of Baton Rouge, some areas in Memphis, affecting the Mississippi River. So this is actually a lot worse now, because we do now have it going over, if this is correct, right over the Mississippi River for a long time, which can bring a lot of flooding, a storm surge possibly for some areas off the coast of the Mississippi River, like Memphis. That's where we do have it. And then it could potentially go all the way out to potentially affect Kentucky, Indiana, and parts of southwestern Kentucky. So yeah, that's where it's looking like, and based on this. Now to be looking at the model intensity guidance. This is where we do have it, the new updates. So the earliest model does show it getting there by before the next 12 hours, but the majority again do show it 24 hours to 36 hours. So again, tomorrow is looking like it's going to be the day. No models show any later than 36. So again, all these are, that was really better. All these show really drastically moving up, like Barbara. It's like, this kind of reminds me of Barbara, where every day it got stronger and stronger and stronger. So the up to 2 models now do show getting to a Category 1, but the reason why I think it should get a very weak Category 2, a very weak, is because when the 2 models, there are 4 models showing it to a Category 1, but 50% chance of 50% of the models that are showing Category 1 are going to be very strong Category 1. So that's why I do think it's very close to Category 2. So I think it's going to be a weak Category 2. And then again, 100% of the Malazusha getting, or sorry, 99% chance of the Malazusha getting tropical storm by the next 96 hours. And then by the next 96 to 108 hours, it should go back to a depression. And then remnants of Barry. And then by the next 168 hours, it should be just some storms there out there in the northeast. Now we're going to be looking at the radar. This is something else we're going to be looking at. So we go later all the way to July 12th. It is a lot stronger to the 1,001 millibars. We're having this very heavy rain. This is where we're going to have these outer bands with the central area. We do have these outer bands again affecting already the Louisiana area and these island areas. That's why we really do have those tropical storm watches and hurricane watches there. They're really going to get affected real bad. And then it gets all the way to 993 millibars. That is getting a lot stronger there. Look at the impact. It's looking like it's going to hit more of the eastern part of Louisiana. Really going to bring devastating rain, catastrophic flooding. And it's going to be going right through parts of New Orleans. It's going to be affecting the Jackson, Mississippi area. That's actually why we do have these special weather statements for these areas in Mississippi that aren't really going to get hit by those strong winds, but could get those floodings. And then it should be bringing some heavy rain for the next couple of days for these areas in the southeast, as it does bring in some widespread bands. Now we're going to be looking at the winds, guys. We're going to again be looking at the winds. This thing can actually load. Alright, so I'm not sure why this thing always has to be like this, guys. It's always going to be like this. I'm not sure why this happens. I hate it when it reloads like this. Alright, guys, so by the next 24 hours, let me get to the next 24 hours. So by the next 24 hours, we do actually get it up to 33 knots there. We do actually have a lot of good rotation there. You really do see these bands there. And by the next 48 hours to 2 days, it is starting to make impact on the eastern islands of Louisiana. So starting to make impact there on the Gulfport area. Not really all in the Gulfport area, but south of the Gulfport area. It's going to be getting up to 41 knots there. So it's a lot stronger. It's a lot bigger. It's about twice the size of Louisiana itself. And it's going to be ripping through parts of Louisiana. Going to get up to actually possibly up to 60 knots, 61 knots there, and then rip through central and eastern Louisiana, and then starts to die down as it gets to depression really fast. And then now we are all going to be looking at the other model of the other model. Now we're going to be looking at the H50. Let me get this really fast. I do not want to spoil it for you guys. The new updates. I do not like this thing. Alright. So by the next 12 hours, it's not looking like really anything. Not much wind. But as we go all the way to the next 48 hours, it's making a lot more impact now on parts of the eastern islands. Maybe up to 42 knots there for some areas. Maybe lower up to 38 knots. It's going to be affecting all the way to parts of Texas and parts of the Louisiana area. All the way to the Gulfport area. It's going to be getting up to 62 knots. It's going to be ripping through, I say, ripping through these areas of Baton Rouge with 98 knots there, ripping through Gulfport. Going to be ripping through Mississippi there. It's going to be very powerful with a huge storm surge area. And it's going to bring it at 60 knots here, up to 56 knots for these areas in the Mississippi River. So again, that's where we do have that storm surge threat. And then it could bring in some very heavy, very strong winds out here for the Wind City, Chicago. And then could bring some stronger winds up there for the northeast. Now we're going to be looking at the vorticity. I believe this is vorticity. For some reason, it's keep on reloading these things here. Oh, sorry guys, this is actually the total precipitation. So this is the total precipitation. So we're going to be looking at all the way the next couple of days. So as you can tell, the next couple of hours, we are going to have this big band. You can see this huge band here. You can really see where the storm actually goes. You can actually tell the cone just by the precipitation here. So we can really see how organized it is, how it's going to take a turn to the northeast like we expected, kind of. We could actually have the maximum of 30 inches, guys. That's way more than a foot there. It's going to bring in very heavy rain out here for the little stick out part of Louisiana. It's going to be bringing some very heavy rain out there for the New Orleans area. Can actually get up to possibly 8 to 10 inches just west of New Orleans, where they get the worst. And then for the southern part of Mississippi, can get a lot of rain. Can bring up actually to 8 to 10 inches for the Mississippi River. It could bring up some more rain totals into parts of the that goes into parts of the Ohio Valley. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys do have time to watch this, because we do have a lot of new updates, and I'm going to be making a video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. See you guys in the next video, and bye.